The views and opinions expressed by the participants of this broadcast are their own, and not necessarily shared by the sponsors, organizations, or individuals mentioned in this broadcast. It will contain topics and language unsuitable for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised. You're listening to 3231 Nomad Radio. It is 7:04 p.m. here. It is this lovely evening. It's Wednesday, July 20th, 2022. It's 7 p.m. here. We are live right now on TikTok and on YouTube. This is Nomad Radio on 3231. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Is there an echo? How about that? How are we doing now? Thank you for mentioning that. Is the audio? It's perfect. All right, fantastic. Hi, what's going on? It's just me tonight on this episode of Nomad Radio. Hope you're having a good evening. Hope you have been having a good week. Ben currently not feeling too good, so he got himself a sick day. No problem whatsoever. I'm glad you guys are here to join me. Like I said, we got TikTok on right now, so folks are welcome to join us on TikTok as well as here on YouTube. We do a show every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, Wednesday every 7 p.m., what you're watching right now on YouTube. And speaking of, hello from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Danny Stark joining us on TikTok from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hello. The mobile detail guy also joining us. What's going on? How you guys doing? Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. If you want to be a part of the live chat that we have going on for the show, it's on YouTube, youtube.com/3231 in order to get to our page. You know what? I meant to check this earlier on, but I think there was a problem with our normal link, which is youtube.323.1. That's supposed to go to the playlist. And for some reason, I don't think it's working. So I meant to look that up, but it keeps slipping my mind to do so. We need a computer guy. That's what we need. We need a computer guy. We need somebody to join us and help us with a couple computer issues here. Because I know a little bit about OBS, enough that I can get this working and looking kind of neat on YouTube. Like as we've said it before. We're probably about 85% of the way as far as what we can really be. Ben was mentioning earlier on, and this is something that I tried to do. It was like 2 in the afternoon, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Sorry about earlier. I was up in the air working mostly day. Got sea legs now. Oh, no problem. Dude, I appreciate you coming to hang out with me at all. The fact that Jamie, you, and David, join us pretty much every episode. I appreciate that so much. We're going to try to build our numbers up. Going to try to get more people here to join us. Some folks pop in for a little bit to say hi, and that's great. The fact that you guys are able to stay on and hang out with us for, the whole 2-hour episode. I don't even know if this is going to be a 2-hour episode. It might. I'm kind of leaving it up in the air at the moment since it's just me. And normally I can riff off. Having Ben here to riff off makes things a little easier. But, for me, this is something that I want to do, that I try to commit myself to do every week, every Wednesday. and the Facebook on Saturdays as well. For everybody else, I'm like, it's completely optional. So I get it. How's been doing, by the way? Been a while. Yeah, Ben. Last time I think he had. So he's involved with like real people, real life people things, like actually getting involved with a community of folks that deal with permaculture and try to like regenerative homesteading and stuff like that. Like he has his passions, and certainly I support him and his passions, just like I would any of y'all for doing whatever you're into. I love hearing about it, and I love sharing it with the community. If it's something that you love to share, which goes for everybody that would be joining us on TikTok as well, or in any of the social media. If you have something that you're promoting, something that you believe in, that you would like shared with the community, I'll do my best to to contribute to that. And I'm a simple dude that likes to get on the internet and talk about things. Um, I mean, again, by all means, if there's something that you're into, let me know. We can share it. It's a community of people. But one of the things that Ben does is actually goes out amongst people, like I said, farming, and like with real life, sitting in front of it, having meetings about ways that they can change the community, ways that they can improve the ways that they can improve the local area, not just Knoxville, but East Tennessee and beyond that. So yeah, he's been running around doing stuff outside, yard work. It's been hot these past few months, so I totally forgive him for not really being in the mood to jump on and be sociable, be entertaining on camera. I kind of get that myself. YouTube needs to extend and update lives so others can join in, if not video, at least audio. Sure. Simple kind of man. That's right. So if I'm going to be talking for a while, I like having a nice ice cold water with me because I need that to wet the wits a little bit. But folks joining us in chat, Joe's here is joining us as well. Joe, what's going on, bud? Buddy's mommy, one of our new buddies, joining us on TikTok as well. Hello, how are you? We have a YouTube show on youtube.com/3231. It's called Nomad Radio. In fact, you guys might want to check for me. I think if you just type in #Nomad Radio, it might bring us up. And you're welcome to join the live chat here on Wednesday nights on YouTube. You need some old-fashioned 1800s sarsaparilla. Yeah, no. I mean, I remember, that reminds me of something. One of the first gifts that I sort of gave it to myself, really. Vivid in chat says GNR or Metallica. I guess I'd say Metallica between the two. Guns N' Roses is fantastic, but there's no real comparison to like solid, Metallica, Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, all those days. Mac Daddy joining us as well. No, so one of the first things that I did when I had the podcast, I came up with a logo for what we called at the time the 3231 Internet Radio Show. Because as most of you know by watching these past few episodes, I wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to play music and do talk radio, and I've been interested in that for like 20 years. Putting it into action, I should say, for about 20 years, because getting my own computer, and I used a program called live365.com where you could use Winamp. Does anybody remember Winamp? You could use Winamp to tune in to a particular radio station, and we would advertise and play on a game called City of Heroes, because it'd be like it was a city of heroes. You played superheroes in a city. And so we'd do like advertisements and stuff for the fictional businesses in the city and stuff, and we would report on some of the activity going on. It was kind of cool. It was like an in-game, half and half, kind of meta, kind of in-character sort of thing. And it's exactly what I would do is, I wanted to play music that people could, rock out, and 80s hard rock and heavy metal. And I wanted to play a bunch of stuff and some obscure stuff. I'd pick stuff. I kind of I really dove right in to the whole '80s hard rock and heavy metal scene, listening to obscure stuff that I haven't even heard of, bands that I hadn't even heard of, or that I heard of but I never really paid attention to. And so I pulled out all these cool songs and stuff, and it was kind of like my thing. DJ Rottweiler was my handle. But it was cool to do that, and then a little bit of talk, like a, here's what's going on in the city, reporting man on the street kind of stuff, and then talking about the game itself and what some people were saying in the forums, and so adding a little bit of news into that as well. Jamie says, topic, I just cut up 40 comic books. How's everyone feel about that? What are you doing with the comic books? I personally, comic books are pieces of paper with artwork on it. And if you pay for it, you go ahead and do whatever you want to it. Some people collect them, and some people want them in pristine condition for resale, and that's cool. Sam joining us. Sam Goody. Hello, sweetheart, joining us on TikTok. How are you? Sam, have you joined with us on YouTube yet? You can go to, if you just go to YouTube, and I think if you type in the search engine, the search on YouTube, hashtag Nomad Radio, you can join us on there, or youtube.com/3231. Oh my God, no, not the #1 Spider-Man. Yeah, that was my prized possession. Not really. No, head over there. All right, fantastic. Somebody named Mr. Star Trek joining us over on TikTok. Man, they'll let anybody over there. So I don't personally mind. I used to take old issues of Captain America that I had, and I'd collage it up on. I had like a box of. It's like a shoe box, but it wasn't a shoe. It was the size of a shoe box, but it was like hard plastic. This box that I had, and I used to collage like Captain America stuff on it, and because I was huge into Captain America for like a couple of years, way back in the late '80s, early '90s. I think Captain America was one of the first comic books that I ever read at the barbershop when I went to the Frank's Barbershop in Laconia, New Hampshire, ages ago. Many moons. That's me. I'm double streaming. I know, man. Saving low value $1 or less by cutting out the 80s, 90s band movie and video game ads, as well as cool covers and laminating cardstock. Oh, sure. Yeah, you could. I could see that. That's kind of neat. Captain America movies were pretty good. The MCU Captain America stuff, absolutely. I liked it a lot. I have a small collection of comics. Haven't really read them though. I had maybe 3 long boxes full. One of Marvel in general. One of X-Men specific. And a third one that was all the other type of books that I had. Like I trying to think of some of the stuff that I had. I had the whole Superman, Death of Superman, Rebirth of Superman, the Reign of the Supermen, I guess, where they had the kid and the John Henry Irons and the Cyborg Superman, stuff like that. I had that whole run. Spider-Man 2099. Had a lot of X-Men stuff. Sam made it to the YouTube. Hello, sweetheart. That's all I wanted to see. I got to see one person that I go over from TikTok to YouTube. That's awesome. I have the next gen Mad Magazine. Gonna frame it nice. I like Green Lantern, one of my favorite DC superheroes. Ian Wolfgang joining us in YouTube chat. Hello, sir. Now we got a party going on. And a girl joining us in chat, like a real live girl. It ain't gonna be some kind of sausage fest. Appreciate that. See, girls like me, Mom. No, she knows. Hello. What's the topic of the night? Well, it was I had a couple things in mind, but I'm always no way, a girl. I know, right? On YouTube, so there's proof. Lowered expectations. Hello. So you guys can jump on board if you want to. How easy is it to get there, Sam? YouTube.com/3231, or is there another way? How did you manage to get to? How'd you find us on YouTube? Like I said, I think hashtag Nomad Radio works. Is probably the best way to do it to get over to the playlist. The original series TV guide, nice. Yeah, I never collected any of the other stuff on top of that. A couple Mad magazines and a couple fan magazines. I wish I collected more Wizards because there were some cool Wizards. You guys remember Wizards? I got it by typing in Nomad Radio. Okay, just wanted to be sure that at least something, one method works. Get a testimony from an audience member. Fantastic. Wizard had the best cover art. Oh my gosh, it did. Like, Wizard was one of those things that made me feel like a smarter person. It's like it was as a nerd. Like, it was so important to get the latest Wizard magazine because it talked about the artists and writers and stuff. It talked about the industry. It spoke about, even like it was a hey, did you get an apartment? Oh, apartment? No. I'm in our studio right now, between Bettenween, I think is how you say it, on a TikTok. Was asking if I got an apartment. No, I'm in the studio right now doing our podcast. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. on YouTube. But yeah, Wizard was fantastic because it talked about movies that were coming out, and it's back in the day, kids. We didn't have the internet and Reddit and all those things where you can get your information immediately as soon as it happens. We had to wait weeks, sometimes months, in order to get magazines that were pretty high quality too. Like it was pretty impressive. The articles and stuff that have talking about the movies and even like fan theory stuff and casting. Who would you cast in different movies and all that? It was pretty awesome. My nerdiest trait is that I was addicted to World of Warcraft for quite a while. I got into World of Warcraft a little bit, Sam. I was mostly into like the modern and sci-fi stuff. Probably that same time, EverQuest, City of Heroes. I gave a lot of hours into those games as well. And there are a few MMOs that I used to get into, but did you get the pet cat on the bridge, Sam? The pet cat on the bridge. What that? Played WoW. Wasn't the greatest at it, but it was fun to play. Oh, that's something in the game. That guy, Dad Inc. on your YouTube is super handsome. I hear you. Yes, he is. He sure is. I couldn't get enough of it, consumed my life for a while, but realized I should be a little social. Yeah, that's the one thing about MMOs. I love an immersive game. I love something that you could dig into and that you play for hours, but that is the drawback. Is you can invest and immerse, and once in a while you have to go out and do things in the world, like a job, like paying your rent and stuff. That was hard to contend with back in the day. Wait for hours in World of Warcraft for the white cat to appear on the bridge and make it your pet. Aww. World of Warcraft is an online MMO, so it's a type of social. That is true. With MMOs, different from other video games that you can jump into, you can form some really strong bonds. Like I said, for me, the biggest, most immersive experience that I had was with City of Heroes, because I want to say that, was it 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, the forums opened up from the developers, so you could talk to other people who are anticipating with others, anticipating the arrival of the game. And they would talk about the different features that you could do, and you could team up with other people, and so it all became a whole bunch of folks. Audio is much better for me on TikTok than YouTube. Oh, really? Oh, well, hey, you're welcome to stick around on TikTok. No problem at all. Is anyone else having any issues with YouTube audio? speaking of beards, I was just thinking I should grow one out like you guys. Sure. I love beards. I love having a beard. No issues there. Okay, so it's just it might be some people. I gotcha. Yeah, City of Heroes was the one that we jumped on, and we were talking for years in the forums before the game ever came out, and we were getting excited about what you could do, and so we'd come up with our characters, and then we'd write little stories about them and the artwork and stuff that we generated from that before the game ever came out. Was just like it was. We had a real big community, and it was awesome. I think it'll make me look distinguished, like data. Audio on TikTok is boosted. YouTube audio is low. Always have turn it all the way up to hear you. I don't know what I can do to turn that up, or if it's just something like on. For me, it looks like it's fine, but I also I'm soft spoken on occasion, so I don't know. Let's see. Bettenween says, "Dude, remember how World of Warcraft before Dungeon and Raid Finder, you actually had to meet people? That's right. Yep. Same. Audio's okay, but I need the headphones. Oh, all right. Well, I'm not the audio guy. That was kind of the problem that we were having earlier on. Was we were having an issue. We're trying to. One of the things that we're trying to do here on the show is get Zoom to work so that people can zoom in and guest host with me. But I've been watching YouTube videos, and it's just making me frustrated. Like I want to learn how to do things and make things work, and I'm just getting so frustrated and confused. Like I don't know if it's me or if it's the videos that I'm trying to watch that are getting, like, if I'm just not able to process them. But I'm hitting a brick wall. So I meant to ask you, how did you get involved in this podcast? I talked to Ben about it. He said he was aware of the low YouTube volume. Okay. Yeah. So how did I get involved with the podcast? This in particular, Ben had a little storage space, a little office type area in the back of his garage. And we had talked about you getting the computer and a couple monitors and a couple webcams and doing this for a while. And then he finally decided, let's just pull the trigger and let's go ahead and do it. When the weather started warming up a little bit from the winter. So we started doing this in like April. And but as far as the podcast before that, I told Ben, like, if you want to know the overall origin of it, I wanted to get out there and create something and have I always like conversation. I've always been interested in nerd stuff, and Ben too, and we'd sit and we'd talk for hours, and I'm like, why don't we just put a microphone on and record this? And we have some of our interesting friends come by, and we can do like a conversational type of a show. So we started doing this in Ben's garage. I thought it started way back in Ocala with the audio. What's going on, Ryan? Hello, sir. Tuck is joining us. Yeah, as far as when it started way back, we're talking probably 2012, somewhere around there. I know it was before I left the band. We had guests. We had our friends show up that had interesting stories, and we were trying to get that off the ground with just audio. But there wasn't a lot of audio services that you could use, and Ben and I were kind of learning as we go. And over the years, we tried to build on it. And then, of course, when live streaming started happening, in particular Periscope, like Ben and I are like, oh, there's so many more things you can do now with your phone, and the everything, the amount of content that you can create and the different places that you can put that content. Like YouTube has been around for a while. I didn't really know much about it that I could invest in that. Ugly Mike joining on TikTok. Hello, sir. Before 2012, Aurora wasn't born yet. Okay. Just enough time to see your face. Now I have to go fight 5 dudes. All right, Tuck, take it easy, bud. Tuck is continuing with his adventures. Talking about superheroes, we got a real life superhero right there. Tuck's a badass. Nomad Radio's now next level, only going to get better and better. I hope so. I certainly hope so, David. The fact that learning little things here and there, slowly over time, and accumulating that knowledge, accumulating that experience, it can only get better and better. Periscope was super convenient because that's what people wanted. People were hearing about Periscope and they wanted to see live streaming. They wanted to jump on and do it. And that was, I ended up building an audience super easy and just getting comfortable on camera and on mic and riffing content to be able to do this on my own. The fact that I can hold my own right now, have my phone going with one app and a conversation there, have YouTube going with another app, have it look really nice the way that I want it to. It's got a lot of my personality in this with the plaid and the with the orange and black and stuff. I describe it as it all started when Jamie cleaned out Ben's garage. Yeah, no kidding. Tom Square, T Square, what's going on, bud? Hope you're doing well. Hope you are too, man. Thank you for joining us in chat. I appreciate that. By the way, guys, if you can, please share this broadcast. If you're on live right now, if you're joining us in chat, you can hit the share button and you can post it on your Facebook or wherever, any of the social medias that you think somebody might be interested in getting a nice conversation in. I shared it myself, but you're welcome to do so as well. And also, here comes the fancy. Watch the fanciness. Where is it? Let me find the fancy stuff. Did I not include it? Oh, there it is. Watch this. Oh. Ooh. Like and subscribe and get notified. You can do that too. How cool is that? I love it. Thank you for diving into the story. Sure. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fall. Nice. Boom. Exactly. So, so official. Fancy. So my love of radio, it got me into music. It got me into entertaining people, and doing the podcast with Ben, learning things here and there, ways that we can entertain folks, and also building the stuff around it too. Like I was just as attracted to the idea of building a community also. A bunch of people that maybe one day I could travel around and we could do a show live in front of folks, because I'd seen that a couple times too, where someone so Kevin Smith is a big influence as far as his podcasting is concerned, a big influence for me. Like he would do a show at a comedy club with him and this other guy, Ralph Garman. They would do a Hollywood nerd type of like here's what's happening in entertainment and folks that have passed away, or anybody that has watched the previous podcast could come and they could they could send emails and stuff, like mail, call in type stuff, but fan mail type stuff. Sam needs to hear the Mike Tyson intro. Oh yeah. Yeah, we used to do we still do. We do an intro for the show, a disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by the participants of this broadcast are their own and not necessarily shared by the sponsors, organizations, or individuals mentioned in this podcast. It will contain topics and language unsuitable for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised. And we do that at the beginning of the show. And there are some times where I do a weird voice. We have a couple shows. Hold on one second here. Let's get your van set up with servers. Yeah, really. The next van, explosion. That's right. The van will have a podcast van. That's still a goal. Kevin Smith is awesome. He owns a comic shop in Red Bank. Yeah, I know that. It's cool. A lot of the stuff that he does. He's a fan himself. He's a nerd, and he does things that are nerd centric. Like he's an ambassador for nerddom, and I appreciate that so much. I want to be that too. you don't want me calling in. Don't know if you could handle my thick accent. I would love to hear your accent. By the way, we actually do have a hotline that I was thinking about today because a new podcast that I'm watching now is Talkville. It's Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling that played Lex Luthor and Clark Kent from the TV show Smallville. They're doing a podcast together where they're rewatching their episodes. They just did their first two episodes of the podcast where they talk about the stuff going on behind the scenes of the first episodes of the show. And so he said, yeah, we have a call-in line if you want to call in and questions or comments. So we do have that. I like the immediate live chat, the being able to talk to us like right here. And, I can just read it and we can hang out. But that is something that I would like to implement at some point. If I can remember correctly, I think it's 850-888-3231. I think that's it. 850-888-3231. That can go to our Google Voice. You can, question or comments or whatever, and that would be nice to include because I want to do all that stuff. I'm such a nerd for old radio and talk radio, and thinking back to those days of being a DJ and just like you're watching 3231, and the doing an ad read, that sort of thing. I want to do that so bad. Shoot, wish she still had the old call-in line recordings. I think it did a few the Weird Hillbilly. That's right. Yep. The characters and stuff that we can make is kind of neat. Sam, we used to get pretty goofy with an intro monologue. Matt was a master at making it hilarious. We did some funny stuff. Change it up every once in a while. Yeah, Sam, Jamie has been a part of the family since, I was in a band. We started in the band about 2007. So, yeah, it would have been like a couple of years after that, wouldn't it? 2008, 2009, when we really started picking up. Ben, I'd say it's about that same time. Because it was after I was in a couple cover bands, and then with the Kings, taking off a little bit with the Kings. Just a young in 2007. Yep. Dealing with kids here. Nice. 2009. So, it's been a hot minute. Do the math. How long is that? 20 years? No, not 20 years. Silly. $2 million years. I'm terrible with math. Just the little Easter egg, little inside behind the scenes thing. If you guys want to know a little fun fact, which it's none of those things, but I am horrible with math. I think I have what they call dyscalculia, which is like dyslexia but with numbers, numerical values. Can't do simple math. It takes me a little bit. Where is your co-host? Hey, Mike. Ben currently is not feeling too good, so it's just me today. But yeah, I sometimes if you were to say a number 1200, some people would say 1200, and I'd say 12,000. This as an example, or I can hardly remember anything with numbers, which makes it kind of funny and ironic. I always thought it was kind of clever how my screen name, my brand is 3231, and half of it's written out instead of numbers. So like I'm surprised I can remember that. Favorite lunch meat, says Bettenween. My favorite lunch meat, meatloaf. Can that be lunch meat? I was thinking about that the other day. Last time I had a cold meatloaf sandwich. Oh, nom. Graduated in 2014. Whatever. Yeesh. Saul Goodman. What's that? Honey maple turkey is the best. I was homeschooled but graduated in 99. I like the idea of homeschooling. We have one of our members of our community, Jenna, is homeschooling her kids, and it's super fascinating. The idea of, instead of being a part of the school system. Obviously, they have to have a social time. They have to have social, interaction with other folks, and like, it provides you a great opportunity to do that in a public school. But yeah, the idea of being able to be more hands-on with what your kids learn, and I think to be homeschooled is awesome. Yeah, really what I would hope, what ideally it should be, because we always talk about permaculture and dealing with a community, small scale community, like um, Ben's number that I forget the name of the number. He mentions it every time. Dunbar, I think, was the name of the Dunbar number. 150 people. Like, if you had 150 people, and how many of those are couples having kids? So you have a small group of kids, maybe like 20 kids or something like that. I don't know, but 20 or 30 kids maybe. But like, to be able to teach them, we have access to the internet. We have access to all this, all so much information and different sources and different forms of media. All the technology that's available to teach children, like to be able to come up with your own curriculum, like a modern school marm would be. It's so interesting to see how that would work, like in a small town type of setting. I guess that's what we would get with like colonizing planets and out in space and stuff. Homeschooling seems tough. I don't know that I could spend that much time with my parents. No, it's different for sure, but if your parents want to invest their time in your education, and they want to, like Jenna is a fantastic. I'm sure that she has fights with her kids. Their kids want to do stuff, and she wants to do other stuff, and there's disciplining involved and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think I would have had a problem with my mom and dad saying okay, or my mom or dad really. Saying, hang out with me for like 3 hours. We're going to go over some stuff. We're going to learn some stuff. And then, I don't know. Just when I think about homeschooling, I'm like, that seems all right. Doesn't seem too bad. Lucky Sam, my parents are great. We get along very well. Yeah. Jamie has a great relationship with his parents. It's like, it would depend, honestly, yeah, because everybody comes from different areas. Everybody's got different things going on. So, it would have been a much different, if I were homeschooled, that would have been a much different home life, a different family dynamic, a different situation for my parents to be there, because my parents were divorced when I was I want to say like 13 or 14 or something like that, and they were separated. My mom worked 2 jobs, so she was always gone out of the house. That's the reason she had me go live with my dad. My dad was he had I don't want to talk bad about my dad, but I mean, he was an alcoholic. He was going through his own struggles. He was going through his stuff. So it wasn't like the best situation for us there. So it wasn't a great homeschool environment, but I don't know. Homeschooling is doable, but they still need other kids to interact with. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not, I don't think the two are exclusive. We homeschool. It's great. Oh, very cool. Matt, what was your favorite subject in school? I don't know if I asked that before. Dad, I get along with mine. I just like my freedom a wee bit too much. I'm thinking about prom and all the social norms might be a little odd to experience. Well, if you have a good relationship with your school, I'm sure that living in the same town or the same city or whatever as other kids, you give them a social life. They have their friends that they play with. They have their extracurricular activities. They could get involved with local sports, so they could get involved with other local things within their community. So they'll have friends. You're not trapping them in the house all day. You're still encouraging them to. I mean, that's part of homeschooling, is encouraging them to be social, and you're teaching them as much about life as you are teaching them about academics and that sort of thing. So if you're going to invest in homeschooling, if you care enough that you want to do that, then and you're dealing with professionals, you're dealing with other people that are experienced. I'll just put it that way. You're dealing with people who are experienced with homeschooling and what to do, what to avoid. There's much more to it than just read this book, and soak up the information and you'll get a test later. Um, I wish Jenna were here that she could. I'm sure she has an opinion on this. Absolutely, like I'd love to get her perspective on it. But homeschooling is, I mean, that's admirable. That someone would be like, I care enough about my. I mean, not to say that people who don't homeschool don't care about their kids, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm trying to say. People in particular that are interested in making that sort of a sacrifice in their life, making that to invest their time in that way into investing in their children's future, investing in their children's present. They want, ideally, that would be something that would benefit kids to be engaged by someone, to have someone that wants to be that important a part of their lives. It's pretty cool. I admire the people that can do it for sure. Yeah. My dad is a master HVAC tech, and my mom ran a retro video store, the first video store in her area. Nice. So yeah, if you're in the community, even if you're being homeschooled, you're still in that community. You're still in that town, and you still have friends in that town. So I'm sure you could come up with some way that if you talk to teachers, you talk to some of the other parents, that they could still be involved in a prom type situation. They could still be involved in a dance type situation or field trips. Like the type of, I'm trying to think of like extracurricular stuff, band, chorus, art, all those things. And as far as what my favorite subject was in school, by the way, David, I'd have to say English, art, and science. Probably my top three. I've had an interest in music, but I never really did anything with music until like the last couple of years of school. I never joined the chorus. I never joined band, did anything like that. I dug it for sure, but I didn't get really out of my shell until my 30s. I was always go to school, do the thing, come home, on the bus, back and forth. Didn't go out, didn't hang out with friends other than the neighborhood kids or whatever, would like thinking like a snowball fight or two or something like that, or whoever was at the kids at the bus stop that I'd socialized with or something like that. I had some friends that I hung out with in school, but it was always like either in school, in between classes, or home. I didn't do a prom thing or any of that stuff either. So. I enjoyed high school, says Sam. Art, history, and math. Nice for David. Sam says, I enjoyed high school. I won one of the class superlatives. I was most likely to brighten your day. Oh, well, Sam, you brightened my day. Favorite classes were math, English, and criminal law. Oh my. Not a big math guy myself, but I can understand. So for some people, that's... I admire people that like math. I'm glad that there are people that can connect with math, because I'm not that guy, so I'm glad that somebody is. But Sam, you certainly brighten our day by showing up today. We appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know if there some folks are typing in on TikTok and your comments aren't appearing. So it's not that I don't want to speak with you, or not that I'm ignoring you, but I'm not receiving the comments. You might want to come onto YouTube and join the live chat in YouTube if you want to be a part of the conversation. But yeah, I don't know why TikTok isn't giving me your comments, because I just saw prom. No, nothing else other than that. We have to balance each other out, Matt. Exactly. I like math. You make me laugh, so it all works out. There you go. I had a coworker that went on to become a mathematician. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate math and science and all that. I appreciate it. But we all process in different ways. We all process information in different ways, and I can create worlds in my brain. I can build characters and I can build, some fascinating stuff. And I'm well spoken. I can, like I said, the whole getting on a microphone and getting a camera, speaking in front of a crowd. I'm pretty decent with that. So those are my strengths. Math is my weakness. So someone else, absolutely. Math is your strength. Maybe something else is your weakness. Maybe somebody's a genius with math and they can't sing, or maybe they're a genius in science, but they have a hard time concentrating and reading, or dyslexia or something like that. We all have our thing. We all have our place in this world. But I never get into theater. I never joined drama club or whatever. I never. There's a lot of stuff that I've had. I wish I could go back and give it a shot. English used to be my weakness, but I got better at it as time went on. Cool. Yep. Public speaking has me shaking in my boots. I had to give up a training on Narcan administration. What's that? Today, and boy, did I stutter. Sam says, give a training on Narcan administration. What is that is? I used to stutter as well in my teens. Like, there was a time when my brain would just work so fast my mouth couldn't handle it. So I had kind of a stutter myself. But there's a lot of things, like my ability to speak. If I really concentrated, I can be better. But I'm sort of like, I feel like I'm 50% power kind of thing, where I want to speak immediately from my brain to my mouth, stream of consciousness type of. I want to rely less on preparing the things in my brain and more just like having it come right out. But to do so without stuttering, natural type of a speed. My ums and ahs used to be a lot worse. So I juggle a lot. I could be better. An opioid overdose reversal drug. Okay, as part of my job, I have to train people how to use it, saving lives out there. Absolutely. Thank you, Sam. Sam stuttered as well. I think when I was really young, I had to go to speech class. It's a chemical thing. It's a behavioral thing. It's nerves. Sometimes we overthink. It could be several different factors to having a speech impediment of some sort. I don't think my speech impediment was too, like, I think when I was a kid I used to have a lisp. Oh no, I know for sure that when I was little I had a speech impediment because my brother's name was Jeff and I used to call him Zot. That was my nickname. That was the name I gave my brother when I was young, was Zot. And instead of Dan, I said Din. Instead of Bill, I said Biddy. But yeah, Zot, where did I get that from? No idea. I have 4 older brothers. Sam says, I think it's the nerves for me, working on it though. That's cool. Oh no. I'm running low on the bottle. So where was I? What was I talking about? We were on a whole bunch of stuff. We were on a good roll there for a second. Oh yeah, so you need H2O. I love ice water. Like I said, get a big container. Go to a convenience store, fill it up with ice, right to as much as you can put in it, and then just the H2O. Nom nom nom. Full House. I have 2 brothers. Fun fact: they are both named Jared. You have 2 brothers, both named Jared. Interesting. How did that work out? Was one a stepbrother, or wouldn't that be great if someone had a set of twins and they just gave them the same name? Which one are you, Jared? Which one are you, Jared? We're the same person. And then you raise them in combat, and you make them fight it out to see who's who. The only there can be only one. Both half brothers, one for my mom, one for my dad. Nice. I bet they saved money on birthday cakes. It'd always be a good icebreaker. Yeah. Oh, one thing I do want to announce, one thing I would like to show off that I have. Would you guys want to see a special package that arrived to me yesterday? I posted it up on YouTube. Very cool new thing that I have that I had a creative moment. Yes, hold on one second. Of course, I knock over the background. Jeez. What kind of rinky-dink operation am I running here? Kicking over stuff. So, I made a purchase, an investment for future content that I would like to show the class. I am an entertainer. I want to entertain people. Yeah, just knocking stuff over, smashing guitars. That's right. So, one of the things that I did when I was on Periscope, I bought a small puppet. His name was Otis. But he was a small puppet, and I didn't realize how small he was. It was very difficult to operate him because I'm a very large man. I don't know if you know this, but in real life, I'm kind of a big guy. So, I wanted to. I liked puppetry. I loved the Muppets. I love the stuff that they could do, the type of character stuff that you could do. And I am 6'3", and I'm 310 pounds currently. So I'm a very large man. But I wanted to. I always wanted to get into puppetry. Like I said, creating characters, world building is very important to me, and I wanted to do something fun that other people can enjoy as well. Putting smiles on people's faces is one of the biggest things that I want to do with my time and with my life. So I got me. Where's the camera? There. Hi. Hi. There's like two of them. I know. Yeah. So this is Buddy, and I'm gonna try to. No, look at them. I'm gonna have to learn ventriloquism. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do ventriloquism or just like Jim Henson puppetry, like regular. So he's got a little tooth. He got a little fang there. So yeah, I want to. I want to. I'm gonna see what I can do with him. Stop. No, not Jeff Dunham. Don't do that. Don't put any pressure on me. Uh, it's something new that I want to try. Uh, I got to get used to it. But I figure on TikTok, maybe I can do some fun stuff on TikTok. Maybe I can do. Yeah, like I was looking up like Jim Henson and a lot of the stuff that they did and the characters that they made, and Um, have fun with it. Yeah, yeah. I want to treat it. I want to treat it with respect. Considering how when I grew up, Sesame Street and the Muppet Show were a big part of my life, and that was like the magic of creating a character and having that character, you know, having that character come to life and interact with kids. And like honestly, I'm more interested in interacting with grown-ups. Like I feel like there's I feel like Buddy could help out, could, put a smile on grown-ups' faces. The kids are great. Kids are going to be fine. Don't worry about the kids. I'm talking about the grown-ups having some fun. And like to see a grown-up access that child in them, like I have much respect for the puppet game. Yeah, I know. I follow Miss Piggy, Elmo, and Kermit Puppeteers on TikTok. They're awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, so I got Buddy, and I want to try to figure out like different things that I could do with him. My dad and I would watch the Muppets when I was growing up. It definitely has a special place in my heart, right? Exactly. And like the little things that I've noticed in my life, like talking to kids, like respectfully as individuals. Like I don't talk to Izzy or Abby. I've never spoken to them like they were kids, just like they were just people. Like you don't try to dumb it down for the kids. You want the kids to, you want to be able to have like or at least that's what feels natural to me. Is the same type of conversations that I have with you guys is the same conversation I have with any person of any age. And I think that is it's off-putting to a kid, I think, because I know me as a kid, looking back, thinking about the way that people talk to me, like sometimes it felt like they were talking down to me, like I was just a kid. And there were other people that would like, no, for real, what, like they would challenge me to be like, what are you interested in? What kind of stuff do you like? What do you believe in? What, what type of person you want to kind of stoke the fire in them for them to think like, oh, I didn't realize that was an option for me, or I didn't realize that someone would consider me like that. Like, maybe I should think about that. Whatever seeds I can plant into people's brains and into their hearts is what I'm super interested in. So, David says some of those earlier shows are awesome and very good for learning. Yeah. Yeah, but the cool thing was, like with Sesame Street, I watched the documentary about that, and they were saying that they wanted to bring education and mindfulness and the important topics like death and divorce, like things that exist in the world. They want to present it to children in a way where they won't feel threatened and they won't feel overwhelmed, like it's something that they could ease into in life. And of course, education. Like they wanted to sell the product of education, which is why it was this episode's brought to you by the letter A and the number 5 or something like that. Like they didn't want it to be commercially driven. They wanted to be educationally driven and entertainment driven. Like they basically wanted to sell the idea of, to be happy and healthy, like mental health, all that important stuff that we talk about nowadays. The conversation, and I dug that so much. I'm like, I felt that campaign that they had, that idea that they had so much, that in everything that I do, I want to do something that's fun and has the conversation that makes people comfortable with certain topics and that we can discuss and work through different things. I mean, I think that's super important. And to do so in a way that's fun and, to have a cool character, something that you guys could see me struggling with doing, with learning how to work, how to create that character. You guys can interact with a character like that. Like, it's just, there's so many different aspects of it that just seem creatively so appealing to me and so attractive to me. So, I mean, who doesn't love Snuffleupagus? Exactly. I think it would better prepare kids for the real world. I feel like coddling can create anxiety later in life. Yeah, yeah. If you can't have a comfortable conversation with a kid on a topic, or if they can't be comfortable with you, like the that kind of you can jokingly say that children sense fear, but honestly, that like if you were chill and you talked about certain things, no matter what age you are, no matter what you're about, if you can sit and you can have a chill conversation with somebody about a particular topic, like we do it all the time here on TikTok and on the Periscope we did as well. If we have interesting conversations in a way that's comfortable for all of us to sit and maturely discuss things, like you're going to get trolls all the time. You're going to get people that just don't get it. People that want to oh, camera's on me, microphone's on me. I'm going to put on a show. I'm going to crack a whole bunch of jokes and that sort of thing. We can be funny. We can have fun, but we can also talk about serious things in a way that's comfortable for us. Why not have all three at once? Why not have it be informative and entertaining and enlightening? Not just learn something and have a good time doing it, but also make you closer to the people around you, and create something beautiful and positive. So, Periscope conversations were on a different level sometimes. They were, yeah. Exactly. Why wouldn't you have an intellectual conversation with your children as well? Sure, right. Because the thing that motivated me a lot to do this with 3231 was thinking about who I wanted to be as a person, and wishing that there was someone in my life that could have asked me these questions, that could have posed these questions to me. What do you want to be? How do you want to get there? Even like thinking back to when I was in my early 30s, and I'd just gotten divorced. I didn't know what to do with my life. I was trying to figure out who I was. It was stuff that some people go through after they graduate high school. They take the jobs and getting an apartment and all that stuff. Like I went from graduating high school and struggling with a job to my dad passing away, my stepmother kicking me out, and like one thing after another, one bad move after another, I ended up almost homeless. Within like the year that I graduated from high school, I ended up almost homeless and didn't know what the future was going to hold. And my mom came up from Florida and brought me down to Florida with her. And then so I'm staying with my mom, and like months later I end up in a relationship with this girl, and I think we were together a year before she got pregnant. We got married, which is that's a whole conversation. But we're still at my mom's, still trying to do our thing, but I never got a chance to be on my own and figure out who I was as a man, what I wanted to do with my time. I was always like, do stuff because your mom says so, do stuff because your wife said so, do stuff because, do for someone else. Not necessarily what I wanted. It was what I ended up doing with my time was trying to figure out ways that I could be alone, and I could maybe find one or two things that to get away from people and kind of, occupy my brain, entertain myself, that sort of thing, distract myself, that sort of thing. So I was never really on my own finding out what I wanted to do with my life. So that time for me was in my 30s, when I was alone. I had my own apartment. I had a job. My nights and my days were open. I was by myself, kind of like now, kind of like how I'm kind of going through that now after Pam and all, is being alone and figuring out, okay, what is life? What things can you fill your life with that interests you and motivates you and drives you, sort of thing. So Sam says, I would hire you. I think you could really make something great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Life is terrifying. Honestly, I'm hanging on by the seat of my pants, just trying to be happy and make good connections as I go. Yep. So when I started to branch out, get out of my shell, figure out what I wanted to do with my life, what creative endeavors I wanted to be a part of, one of the first things that I did was I did karaoke, like actually performing in front of people, and doing it on a consistent basis to get used to being in front of people and really find my voice, find the songs that were comfortable for me, and focus less on what I was doing and more on how people were receiving what I was doing. Like being up on stage and singing, or like this, podcasting, live streaming, all that stuff. It became less about what I'm doing. Like I felt confident enough in my ability and what I was presenting to people, and it became more about like I watch your reactions. I'm not so focused on me. I'm focused more on you guys, and finding out what entertains you and what topics interest you. My favorite karaoke song is Tequila. Copyright. YouTube's gonna shut us down. No, so when one of the interesting things that I learned in that time, the first couple of years, like doing karaoke and wanting to like, okay, let's take the next step. Instead of singing other people's songs, let me start figuring out like, or instead of just being somebody with a backing track, let me see what local musicians are doing. Like I kind of did that a little bit. I dipped my toe in high school in trying to form a band, but you're a kid dealing with kids. Nobody's really motivated. Anybody that has any talent, they're not going to do anything with it unless they're super driven to do it. But for the most part, teenagers are teenagers, and you can't get the teenager to concentrate for more than, a half an hour without also something else occupying their brain. So I'm like, okay, so I'm a little bit older. I'll try to find musicians and of a certain age range. You want to find people that are talented. You want to there's such a combination that you need to get in order to get a band together, and it's difficult to do so. But one of the other things too is the mindset. There are people that have their own opinions, their own perspective on what the world is about, on what the music scene is about. Like I loved 80s music. I wanted to sing 80s music. I wanted to sing hard rock, heavy metal, and a lot of the radio rock and stuff that I liked. And so I didn't have my own songs. I wanted to sing covers, and I wanted to build a list of the covers that I wanted to sing. And so I'd come at people with I know this song and I know that song, and like building a repertoire as I go, building a catalog. But I would meet people that they liked what they liked. They liked 90s stuff and the more modern stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm not big on that. But they're like, yeah, but like they would say things like, you can't be nobody wants an 80s cover band. There's no market for it. I'm like, those actual words that someone said one time in Ocala. They're like, there's no market for an 80s cover band. And I'm like, what? Thinking back on it, I'm like, what market? Even then, I was kind of suspicious. Like, what do you mean market? Like, what do you know about this is not the music industry. This is a small town in Florida. We can do whatever we want. And, they're like, maybe you can get like one 80s cover band in per town or something like that. I'm like, where are you coming up with this math? What data did you collect? What research did you do to come up with this stuff? And looking back on it now, I think about that, and that's what motivates me for 3231, to be a positive person, to be someone that's like, what do you want to do? Let's do it. What are you passionate about? Let's go. Because somebody could just because they wanted to do what they wanted, they were trying to convince me to stop doing what I wanted because they wanted to do what they want. I think there's a lot of people that are 80s metalheads out there. Absolutely. My fiance was in a heavy metal band with his friends. You could definitely see the different mindsets within the band itself. I was AFK back now. Ocala shit bars love cover bands. Ocala is horse country. That's right. Yeah, so if my mentality was, and I had to fight people on this, if you're a good band, and you have fun making good music. That's all you need. People, if you are like, and I proved it with Kings of Awesome. I proved it with my band. We were four guys that were very good at what we did. We all worked together and we had fun on stage. And like, I would do 4 hours a night, 45-minute sets, work my ass off, sweat, and like I was exhausted by the end of the night. My voice, I tried to make it last for, like, the fact that I could sing for 4 hours. It was amazing that I could finish out a set. But that was the best that I ever felt in my life, was when I could rock people's faces off for 4 hours. We barely got paid, but that was important, but it wasn't the most important thing. There was that I have a list of songs that we do. It's in a certain order so that I can save my voice and I'm not overexerting myself. But still, to be able to belt out for 4 hours, like, it was fantastic. Kings rocked it, and Matt gave 150%. Thank you for saying that. Appreciate that, Jamie. But the thing that always got everybody was, we're not getting paid enough, and or folks were, like, a couple of the guys were interested in their girlfriends and what their girlfriends wanted to do, and not that I don't understand that to a certain degree, but I was, with all the different social media platforms, you may be located in Ocala, but you could reach anywhere in the world. True. Now more than ever, we could have ended up doing that. And I was just learning about how to do that too. Like, if we were the Kings of Awesome, if I was part of the Kings of Awesome in 2015, when, like, I left the band in 2014 and tried to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was super depressed, and I gained a whole bunch of weight and stuff. But if I held out for like a couple more years to be the Kings of Awesome using live streaming technology, like, if I could have gotten the Kings of Awesome on stage with Periscope, wow. I was just divorced from music at that point. I was like I was so sad and broken up. I was heartbroken that I just, like, okay, I'm not going to sing for a while. I'm not going to, everyone's like, oh, Matt, why don't you get up on stage and sing, or, get into another band, or you should do that. And I'm like, when you love something and you have to leave it, when it's like, you don't just, that wasn't an easy thing for me to do. Still isn't really, but if TikTok was a thing back then, watch out. That's what I'm saying. So, let me turn off. Doesn't seem to be anybody watching on TikTok now, so I'll shut that off. Save myself the battery. I'm glad I got my 9 a.m. chat. Yeah, 9 a.m. chills. Exactly. It was, and plus, if I was still in the Kings of Awesome, I would have been interested in being a band and making music. And that, not that wasn't great, but I wouldn't have had the time and the motivation to focus on something really more important for me, which is to stop listening to the people that would say no and you can't and why bother. The two things I wanted in my life, three things that I wanted in my life, was a beautiful woman, be lead singer of a rock band, and to be a graphic artist. And there was a point in my life where I was all three. And all during that time, I had people telling me that, the band wouldn't make it, or they were more interested in what they could get out of the band, what other people could get out of the work that I put into the band. We had people that called themselves promoters, but they were just the guy that knew the owner, and too many of those folks in the small town. You're a regular at a bar, and you see somebody talk to a couple bands and then talk to the owner, and you can make a couple bucks by basically being the go-between with the owner and the musical acts. That doesn't make you a promoter. Just because you are the one that like you just because you're the one that agreed, or you're the one that set the go between, I should say. There are always negative Nellies. Got to stay positive. Yeah, in anything that you do. But there's a lot that I learned from the local music scene, from the small time entertainment. So many people just want to tear others down, and it makes me so mad. Yeah, it's true. But and more to the point, that I wasn't as much focused on the bad people as much as I was focused on the lack of good people. I started to think about what is important to me. What type of person would I want to be there to be a voice of yes you can in a world of no you can't, as I called it. The what do you want to do? All right, let's figure out what we can do to help you and to truly promote somebody and to truly support someone. And then it extended from not just your passion, but like in general, just to be a positive voice. Like, what things do you need? What things do people need to hear? What type of person does someone need in their life? And just try to be that person. That, what's it really? It cost me a little bit of my time and a little bit of my heart and my caring, because I'm a caring guy. I'm going to care about stuff no matter what. So why don't I invest that into people that are receptive to it? So, okay, just watched you sing Pride on YouTube. I'm pretty badass. Thanks, T-Square. Appreciate that, bud. Appreciate that. I never heard you sing. I have to do a deep dive later. Yeah, you go on YouTube. You can look at Pride Kings of Awesome live. That's me. And that's. I wish, looking back on it now, I wish that I could have done more on YouTube. I wish I could have thought to put a little more effort into that, because I didn't know what YouTube was. I didn't know what you could do on there, and I feel like I kind of missed out on the potential because I was too focused on other things. Be right back. Okay. Yeah. So that's what's motivated me up until this point. Tev Love. Hello, sir. What's going on, buddy? It's Tev, everyone. How are you, good sir? Glad you guys get to view some on YouTube. Yeah, I'm glad that we at least have Pride on there, at the very least. Still keep in touch with those guys. Yeah, like I text Casey every once in a while, my guitarist. My original bassist, Rick, and Casey talk a lot on Facebook, and so I sort of jump in on their conversations as well. But it's like it's meme type stuff, and hey, look at this funny thing, on Facebook. Chad, or the last drummer that was in the band, I think Pride was, when we did Pride live, I think that was Chad on drums, Casey on guitar, and Bobby on bass, I believe. Just saw Casey and Rick last week. Nice. I am all right. Hope I was a little. Oh, I'm doing fantastic, bud. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you hanging out. Chad still lives in Ocala, I think, or down south. Yeah, Chad lives out, I want to say Tampa, in the Tampa St. Pete area. Like, he's on the beach. He's living it up. Casey's in Ocala. Rick is in Ocala. I don't know about my original drummer, Chris. Yeah, I don't really keep in touch with the other members of the band. Reunion tour. No way. I'm an old man now. I couldn't do that. I don't know if, like, part of me wants to one day go do a karaoke night sort of thing, but there's so much. I want to sing in front of people, and I want to sing songs that I'm familiar with in front of people, but the rest, like 99% of karaoke night, is dealing with the stuff that I don't want to deal with. Like, I never liked the drinkers. I never liked the partiers. I never liked the DJs. There's like, hey, everybody, like, me and Ben and Nicole went like a month or two ago to a place, and it was a small little dive that was way too small for karaoke night, but they did it because it was the only thing in town in the area. And so we're sitting there waiting for the thing to start, and this guy rolls in and he sets up his little rinky-dink operation here, like out of a suitcase kind of a deal. And he starts in with, it just brought me back to the early 2000s of, what was that Usher, Little John? Yeah, boop, 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 boop. Just hearing that, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And then the girls are like, woo, like these 40-year-old, like 40-year-old women. Woo! Like, I'm like, oh, this all over again. I had flashbacks. I feel like a groupie. Did you see the picture of the Casey letting the boys play with one of his guitars? Yeah. I hope they get bit. I hope they feel it. Did you had to at least stop by? Seeing you on here. No way I miss saying hi. I appreciate that, Tev. Thank you, bud. Groupies. I miss groupies. I do. I miss groupies. Sam, I always watch the old videos. It's how me and my wife met because King's in the band called Soul Cry. Yeah, absolutely. Some of those kind of singers just can't sing a bit. Matt, you can say thank you, man. But it was that, like it's kind of like what it reminds me of is people playing pretend. It's like LARPing, I guess. Is like you could have a tiny room, and people just show up in costume, and you have the music going, and people act like they're in a nightclub. It's not a nightclub. It's somebody's room, or it's some small, like, they could have, if somebody has cold beer on tap, suddenly it's a bar. That's not a bar. But they act like it's a bar. They act like it's a club. You have a couple flashing lights and some loud music, and suddenly it's like, woo, party, like, look at me, I'm sexy kind of thing. I just, and the guys are all horny for girls, and the girls are all, just that whole vibe. I can't do that. I didn't like it. Didn't like it 20 years ago. I don't like it now. Groupies ain't bad. I do enjoy some groupies sometimes. So nice you met your wife that way. Yeah. Never been one for the whole party scene. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't drink. I'm not out to get laid. I'm not, like, it's just not me. Never been me. And yeah, I fully embrace the fact that I'm a nerd. If it was a bunch of people sitting down at a table rolling some dice, I'd be all in. If it was, let's play a game, let's kind of goof off and play Imagine and stuff like that. Like that's cool. Or video games, like the stuff we talk about all the time. If we were a bunch of nerds getting together, sitting down, like that's cool. But I was Jeff. What's going on, man? How you doing, sir? Look at all the people joining me in chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's the crew. We got so many Periscope faces joining me right now. Guys, I enjoyed the conversation tonight, but I have an early morning, so I have to start turning in. Gotcha. So nice meeting you guys. Have a good night. Sam, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you chat is hopping. Yeah, that's right. I'm really grateful that you guys came in. So, and I'm working on getting new faces to join. We're working to get some new blood to join us as well. Join us. Love you, Sam. Thank you so much. So yeah, I had skin in the game. I had something to get out of it by being in a club or being in a bar, when I was in my 30s, because I wanted to get on that microphone and sing, and that's the only reason that I had the benefit of meeting people. I have the benefit of having a few experiences, we'll just say, with lovely young ladies during that time. So I'm not going to totally dismiss it. I had some fun, and honestly, how close are we with Zoom to be able to have another guest with you, Matt? All right, so with Zoom, what? Oh, there's Bilbo. Shut it down. Bilbo's here. That's it. We're doomed. YouTube terms of service going to shut us down. Bilbo's going to say something inappropriate, and we're going to have to just lock it up. Oh crap! I know. What's up, Blow? What's up, sir? Bilbo's my boy. Always a pleasure to have Bilbo on board. Yeah, so here's the issue. I can get Zoom is not that big of a problem. The only issue is audio. There's something that I need to do that I'm just incapable of learning. I'm figuring this out. Like, there is a way to connect YouTube to OBS, to Zoom to OBS, but I don't know what that is. I don't know. Like, I watched a couple tutorial videos, and they say you need virtual audio cables, which I downloaded, and you need to like a couple of the steps. It's kind of like someone's like, I'll teach you step by step how to do this. Fantastic. Okay, step 1, you need to download these things. Here's what you need. Great, I can do that. Step 2, you need to set this setting for the microphone and this setting for the speaker. Okay, I can do that. And then you do a couple other things, and then they make it work. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I feel like somebody's missing something. Somebody's not capable. Either someone's not capable of explaining it to me, or I'm just not capable of processing it and understanding it. But there's like 2 steps that is not connecting to my brain to make it work. Ben got on like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock ish this afternoon on Zoom, and I had him. He was on his phone, and I was at the computer, and I was trying to make it work. But I'm like, I don't know. You start to you ever get so frustrated that you start to know less? Like, I can feel myself slipping away. Just so confused by everything. That's kind of what I'm dealing with. I'm capable of doing a lot. The fact that I've gotten us here. I appreciate Ben with the lighting, and Ben's pretty good with getting he has the audio cables and the mics, and we got the cameras set up, and he got a couple pieces of equipment to hook everything up through, and he's very knowledgeable with some of the PA equipment type stuff to get this up and running. And then I got it looking nice. We're on YouTube right now. We're doing it. But I feel like I'm hitting a wall with the whole Zoom thing. So I have faith. Can't wait for it to work right. Yeah. So that's something that I feel like I'm probably going to need to do is just, I'm going to have to look in the area, see if I can find, virtually, it'd be great if I could find somebody that I can, if I got a Zoom call with them and I just, pointed my phone towards the screen so they could see what's on the screen, or we could screen share or something like that. If I could find somebody more capable than me, they can be like, oh yeah, you just need to boom, 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 and that's it. I feel like that's what it is. Or someone's like, no, you got it all. You just needed to connect this to that and click this under, advanced audio properties or something like that, and then boom, you're ready to go. So, a producer, yeah, or at least just a tech. Like, I just need a nerd that's good with computers, because I have all the parts. They're just kind of sitting there. I just need someone to go, okay, that goes there, boom, you're done. You got it. Because to me, I got so frustrated and pissed off with it that I just said, all right, I'm just going to shut it down. I'm like I said, 2 p.m., I'm sitting at the computer, I'm watching a YouTube video, and I'm like, is this the same guy that I saw before? He also did something, so I'm watching this video, this guy talking about connecting OBS to Zoom, or flip that, connecting Zoom to OBS, I guess it's the same thing. And he said something along the lines of, it didn't have anything to do with what I was trying to learn, but he's talking about the video part of connecting Zoom and OBS. That part I know how to do. It's easy. But I'm watching him describe in a tutorial what you're supposed to do. And he said something specific. He did something specific that just immediately pissed me off. Because he said, okay, if you want to turn off that bottom bar on Zoom that says like participants and, you know, like all the different features and stuff, it's like a toolbar. If you want to remove that, you go under settings, which he did. You go under accessibility, which he did. I'm watching him on screen do this. It says, and there'll be a spot there where you can shut off, or you can deselect that bar to always be on. And when he said that, he went out of accessibility into a general tab, a general button, and it was under there. Like, he said it was under, like, if you're listening to him, you're like, oh, it's under accessibility. If you listen to exactly what he says, okay, you go into the accessibility tab, and it's under there. But what he did was he scrolled up and down through the accessibility options, and it wasn't there. And he clicked out, went into general, and pointed at it, and clicked it off, and then backed out. But he did it so quick that I'm like, someone is watching this video, trusting you to teach them how to do a thing. It's like saying, all right, in order to bake cake, any Buddy videos this week? Will I be making any content with Buddy? I don't know. I don't know yet. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I wasn't expecting to get him, and then once I honestly, a part of me wasn't expecting to get him at all. I was thinking I was going to get screwed on that, like I ordered, and I was in correspondence with the guy through emails, and he was saying, "Yep, I got other projects, but I'll get to that. I'll finish making it." And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by, and then I text him again. When do you think I'm going to get it? What, any updates? I was as polite as I could be, as professional as I could be. And he's like, well, the family was sick, and we had some stuff we had to deal with, and so I'm a little bit behind, but I'll try to get it out by the end of the week or next week. Or should be ready, it should be completed by the end of this week or next week, and then we'll get it out as soon as we can. So I really, honestly, in a way, wasn't even, I was expecting him to just rip me off and not give him, but he did. He delivered it. So. Oh, Bilbo hadn't seen. All right, hold on a second, Bilbo. Let me get him for you. So the fact that I have him right now, I'm happy, but I'm also like, okay, I need to take that next step. It's on me now. I need to think about what kind of content I'm going to make. How am I going to do this? Hold on right quick. So yeah, thanks to Luna Puppets for this awesome job that they did. And I'm sorry that I doubted you. Not that they're going to watch, not that they're going to see this video, but still. It wasn't so much the guy, it was, this is how my life goes. Is that I want something, and then something wrong happens. Hi! Oh, stop it. Need to show off that fang. It's Melvin. That's Bud. This is Buddy. Oh boy. I need to make sure that he's looking at the camera because I want to keep going this way with my hand, and it's like, no, he needs to face the camera. There's things I need to work out. Like, I don't want to be in the shot, so I need to figure out a way that I can have Buddy in the shot, but me not in there. Like, these are things that I need to figure out. Get him a little. Well, here's what I was thinking. So shop.323.1 has toddler shirts for kids. So I think I may get a shirt that's his size, like an extra small or something. Or I may get him in a suit, green bodysuit. You're doing great so far. It fits you perfectly. Thank you. So I did have an idea. I don't know if it'll work, but let me try it on camera with you guys. See if it can work. I don't know if it will, but I'll give it a shot. It's gonna look dumb, but it was the first thing I thought of. So at the very least, I could still see. But you tell me if this looks. Gotta get my hand in the glove here. But so they did such a fantastic job. Like, this is a professional puppet. This is pro quality. That's the reason why suddenly I'm like, oh man, now I have to really. I gotta get my act together, like literally. So, at the very least, um, sorry. So, the plan. I got to move a little over like here. So okay. So the plan is that. So the plan would be to do something like this, and I don't know if this will work um, necessarily, but there's a lot that I need to learn how to do. So, can someone get a? I gotta get a screenshot or something. Just me. Right there. Thumbnail. I don't know how good that works. That was an idea, at least. A fake mic? Yeah, I need to do a fake mic. You're right. So, how did that work? Does he come in a case too? Yes, he does. It's called a box. Yes, a cardboard box is his special custom built case. I would love to, when I can afford to. I would love to find a way to take care of him a little bit better. Did some TikToks with Buddy, viewership would explode. That's what I'm thinking. Like, at least I could create some things on TikTok. I'm not a good editor. Of course he's orange. Of course. It's my favorite color. So I'm not. I need to learn how to puppeteer. Shit. What an amateur. Look at this guy. He's a complete amateur. The place is falling apart. Yeah, so I can make little short clips. I got to figure out how to do that, but you guys see the potential that I do, hopefully. Joe Rogan didn't have to mess with a backdrop. have Izzy and Abby have seen Buddy yet. I'm sure they get a kick out of him. I think they have. I think they did. I think Abby has. I don't know if Izzy has. I get kind of an eye roll from everybody else. Ben and Nicole. They're kind of like Nicole, especially because Nicole's like. But tons of potential. Yeah, I think so. So I want to see what that little thumbnail is going to look like. So okay, so you see what I'm saying? It's a neat concept. It puts a smile on my face. Not everyone gets it. That's all right. You don't know how many times when I was in a band, when I was anything creative that I did, it's like in a band especially, the best thing that I did in the Kings of Awesome was get up on stage and sing a song called Kickin' the Richard. And I'd perform this song, and I'd actually get into people's faces and sing this at them. And yes, sir. And and I'd get the eye roll so much from girls. But it's like at the time, there you go. Kicking the eggplant. That's exactly it. At the time, it's entertaining and they laugh and they love it. But they'll never admit that they laugh and they love it. They'll be like, it's just the way that some people are going to react. They don't know how to take it. I know when something's funny. I know when something's entertaining. I know when I like it. And so it may not be for everybody, and I'm willing to accept that. But they're like, some would say the same thing about me broadcasting right now live on YouTube. I'm sure 10 years ago, 15 years ago, somebody would have said, no, don't do that. Like, I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's saying that. You get trolls all the time on TikTok saying, what are you doing? Or, get a life, that sort of thing. It's like, all right, you're always going to get people saying that. But, so, yes, I'm a grown-ass man with a puppet. But so is Jim Henson. He made an empire out of it. Drop music kick in the, yeah, oh yeah. Those were good times. Good times. Yep. I got that every time I listen to that album. Every once in a while, I'll listen to it, or I'll pull it up on Spotify, and listen to those songs, and I hear Casey playing the solos. I'm like, so good. But that just shows you that like it doesn't just take talent, it takes faith. Like, you need that faith in order to make something work. There's that energy that you put into it, that belief. Things don't work until you believe in them. So you guys broke my neck many a time. We are not to be held responsible. So yeah, Buddy's cool, and I can't wait to figure out things that I can do with him. But yeah, he's got so much personality. I'm so happy with how he turned out, and I just have to figure out where to put him, where he could be used. So I'm looking forward to that. Anything else that we have not yet covered? Thank you guys for being in chat. Thank you for hanging out with me, for jumping on and saying hello. I appreciate that so much. I feel like we're winding down. We got about 15 minutes left of a normal episode. But yeah, of course he's going to be orange, because why not? Everything's orange. Maybe I can get him like a plaid shirt like that. I get a plaid shirt or a. I'll dress him up like I was when I was in my band. I get like a band shirt, a logo shirt. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do something weird here. Hold on one second. Let me give this a shot. Let's see, what can I do here? I'm gonna switch screens. Ben's not here, so move that. And then I'm gonna take I'm gonna take this. Nope, that was wrong. Where is it? Desktop. '80s rocker, some kind of hat. It's something, I don't know. Melvin. The page is putting up a lot of Alliance Violence stuff. So this is shop.323.1. You can get a lot of cool stuff on the site, except for that mason jar thing. I wanted that mason jar, but they don't have any mason jars on this site. And this is what is available currently. Through the shop. I don't. Why is it acting like that? Let me blow this up a little bit here. Booyah. Gotta get to bed, sir. I have to be up at 5. Love you, brother. Okay. We're winding down anyway, so I appreciate that. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for hanging out, bud. So I gotta find a cool shirt that I can give him. Maybe the property shirt. They do have kids shirts as well. A baby bodysuit. John drinks water. What's up, John? How you doing, sir? Thanks for joining me. Like this, maybe? But it's a bodysuit. It's not a 6, 12, 18 months. Okay, so I need to find like a kid's size. Does it come in a kid's size even? Small, medium, large, extra large, 2X. So I don't know if I have something that size in a kid's. Cut the bottom off of it. Crop top. Would a small work? A bib. Yeah, no kidding. Not a long sleeve. It'd have to be a short sleeve. I like the dog bandana myself. But no, I'll find something that I can do. That is so cool, though. I mean, blue or heather gray charcoal. How much do they cost? $20. I don't know. We'll figure out. I think Buddy needs a fashionable new phone case. temporarily out of stock, unfortunately. I think I need to update this. Oh, there we go. Baby organic t-shirt. Baby shirt. 6, 12, 18 months. Normal fit, size chart. Let's see. So 14 by 11. 14 by 11. You think that would work for the 18 months? $20. Maybe if I can. That's before you get your cut, so probably less for you. No, I pay full price. I pay full price, unfortunately. Although, hey, we got a kids premium hoodie, so maybe we do have a shirt. Hold on a tick. Hold on a minute. Or a tie-dye shirt, maybe. Do we have kids? I think we may have a kids shirt. I gotta keep scrolling, I guess. Hang on a minute. Baby organic t-shirt. Okay. No, that was wrong. It was the kids. I wanted to get kids size. Well, if anyone would like to contribute a 20 for me to get one of these shirts. Am I just missing the kids section or something like that? Let me do it by size. Maybe that'll work. Customize, shop, kids shirts. Kids vintage sports t-shirt. All right, here we go. In a small. Maybe. Perhaps. Might be, yeah. It may be too big for Buddy. I might want to go towards the baby section. What's Matt doing? Oh, he's a grown ass man gonna buy a T-shirt for a puppet. Toddler premium. All right, toddler. Youth 2T 4T. Would I call him a toddler or would I call him a newborn? I mean, he's new to me. Maybe we'll go the 18 months. Maybe we'll do that. I'm not sure. If anything, it would be hilarious to have a shirt that's too small on Buddy. I think that might look better for him to have a shirt that's too tight on him. But there it is anyways. Anywho. All right, we're going to call that a night. Thanks everybody for hanging out. It's the end of the show. We did it. We made it, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Seriously, I appreciate that a lot. Every time that I broadcast, I'm so happy that I get to spend time with my friends and talk about stuff. And I wasn't sure like if people would be entertained, but considering you guys have been cool and hanging out with me, people coming out, saying hi. Yeah, have a great night. Thank you guys. Will be Saturday, 7 p.m. on Facebook, and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. here on YouTube, just where you are, just where you came. We do a show And you can also look at me up on TikTok because I try to get on there. Like I'll probably be in the morning. I haven't had a coffee in a few days, and I feel like I might want to get a coffee tomorrow morning. I'm feeling like a coffee and a bagel in the morning. So I've been really good the past couple days in trying not to eat anything junky, drink a lot of water, and I've been a good boy. So I'm going to treat myself to a coffee in the morning. But I'll be on TikTok. Probably too early for Bilbo because he's way out on the West Coast. But I don't know. If maybe you never know. Have a great day, and as always, follow me if you haven't followed me yet. Please share the broadcast with your friends. Always nice to make new friends. And of course, look me up on 323.1. That's the socials. If you want to Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff. You can also, that website that I just showed, shop.323.1, is the place where you can get your own 3231 t-shirt. Show your support for the community. I might have to make a buddy shirt. Who knows? But I will talk to you guys later on. And again, thanks for hanging out with me. Love you very much. Love you. Bye.